Good evening, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. مساء الورد والياسمين عليكم يا شباب ويا صبايا. معاكم طارق and Ayman from Hosheh MMA. And tonight with us, we have a very special guest. We believed, we achieved, we conceived, and he's with us tonight. Michael, the Count, Bisping. What's up, champ?
Yeah.
What's up, buddy? How are you? Great to talk to you guys. And that is quite the intro. Somewhere, you Rockhold is telling you to go fuck yourself.
Oh my God.
That, I'll tell you, that has still got to be one of my most favorite on-stage performances of all time in UFC. Conceive, achieve, believe. Shut the fuck up, Luke.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah. So, yeah, good times. Feels like a former life. It was only 4 years ago, but as I say, it feels like a lifetime ago now.
Well, you've done so much since then. Actor, analyst, presenter, commentator. And now
yeah, you know, I'm trying to keep busy, you know. So as a fighter, you're always terrified of when you retire, you know, because throughout history, there's many fighters, they don't use their platform when they have it, you know, because nobody cares about a washed up ex-fighter. So when you're actually an active fighter and you have the opportunities, I was trying to set myself up for a life after fighting, and so far so good, but you know, it's still a long way before I die, so you never know how it's all going to end up.
Well, we're pretty sure it's going to end up pretty well. So let's just jump straight into it. Obviously, we're doing this, like Eamon said to you earlier, because everything on Fight Island is blowing up. We're both based out of Dubai. The scene in the Middle East is going gangbusters. Why are you not here right now?
Well, that's a very good question. No, I'm not here. I'm covering the fight for ESPN from here, localized. I was out there in the summer for the first one and had a fantastic time. I mean, the service and the facilities at the W Hotel and everybody around the event was just absolutely next level. Had a tremendous experience. Unfortunately, you know, as you mentioned, I'm not at that one, but fingers crossed I'll be at the next.
Didn't you lose your bag last time you came over and you got into the shit show over here?
A little bit. You know, listen, my bag was there. I saw it, and then it wasn't there. And then I was asking everybody, "Where's my bag gone? Where's my bag? Excuse me. Where's my bag?" And everyone was ignoring me. And then 45 minutes later, I'm like, "Hello, my bag." And then nobody was actually like acknowledging me. It was like I was invisible, like I didn't exist. And I'm like, and I was asking all these people, and they were all just ignoring me. So then, in the end, you start to lose your shit a little bit. I'm like, "Hello, am I invisible?" You know, and then you know, then I lost my temper a little bit. But it's 4 a.m. I've had a 20-hour flight. It's 170,000 degrees. I'm sweating like crazy. I've lost my bags. Our pets' heads are falling off. Yeah, so you know, come on, give me a break.
That's awesome. So do you reckon you'll be out for the next one?
Fingers crossed. Yeah. As I say, I had a great time there. So yeah, but it's nice actually, because I've got 3 children, and right before Christmas, I was away for a month filming a movie in England. So I didn't want to come back and then immediately disappear again. So, you know, as much as I had a great time out there, I do like to see my wife and children on occasion.
Well, you know, that's gonna be one of our questions later on, but we might as well ask it now, because I watched you in Warrior. Loved the performance. Wished I could have seen you a lot more in the show. Like, I knew you were going to be on it, and I'm sat there waiting, and I'm like, "That's Michael Bisping. That's," and everyone looking at me, like, because you know we're in the Middle East, and I was like, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah.
So what is this movie? What's the next role? What's going on? Can you tell us, or is it hush hush?
No, that one I just filmed. It was called Never Back Down Revolt. So that'll be out probably end of this year. I would have thought. It takes a while. But yeah, the acting side of things going pretty well. Got a few things bubbling over. Working on my own series as well. That's pretty good. We're almost finalized. Got a couple of offers for that. We've got Den of Thieves 2 later in the year, hopefully. So, yeah, keeping busy, but it's a tough business, So, yeah, fingers crossed, but so far, so good.
What do you do to make up for that adrenaline rush you used to get with fighting? You don't get that anymore. What do you do to compensate for that nowadays?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, I did it for a long time. I started martial arts when I was 8 years old, and I retired at 38, I think, or something like that. So, 30 years of getting my ass kicked. I had enough of it. Getting punched in the face and all that type of thing. And then, I had the injuries as well. But yeah, to honestly answer your question regarding the adrenaline rush, yeah, I don't really need that anymore. As I say, I achieved pretty much everything I could in the world of mixed martial arts. I had a great career, and I'm very satisfied with how it went. Retiring is always a difficult choice for any fighter. But as I say, I mean, because I do have a lot of injuries that would prevent me from fighting anyway. But even if I didn't, I mean, I've kind of been around for a while. I had a long, lengthy career. I won the belt. I was very lucky along the way. So, yeah, I mean, what more is there to do, So, I mean, of course, I'm not saying I had the best career in the world. I mean, I'm not saying I'm Khabib Nurmagomedov or nothing, but I had a pretty good stab at it. So, I'm happy where I left things off.
Yeah. We loved watching you.
You definitely had a better career than most people. Don't downplay it.
No. Yeah. It wasn't bad. I did okay.
Also, we can't deny you're the top shit talker in the sport, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really look at it like that. I don't really go in for this concept of trash talk, what people say. For me, it was never trash talk. If I'm going to go into a cage and I'm going to fight another human being, the objection of the fight is to try and do as much damage as you can to your opponent. Let's be honest. Of course, it's a very technical sport that requires a lot of discipline to learn the techniques. But when you break it down, you're trying to knock each other out. You're trying to force them into submission. It's a nasty business. So when I'm talking to an opponent and I'm, talking shit, for want of a better expression, it's mind games. It's psychological warfare. And it's not just that. I'm looking at you as my enemy. If we're going to fight, it's like, we're going to fight. It's like, well, fuck you. And I'm going to talk some shit. Because in my mind, you're trying to beat me up. You're trying to take away my career. You're trying to take my belt, whatever whatever position I'm in with my career. Let's say I'm trying to get a number one contender fight, or I'm trying to fight for the belt, or I'm defending the belt. My opponent's taking away my dreams. And at the time, and I worked on this throughout my career, and I got a little better towards the end of not being so emotional. But I used to look at it as if, they're trying to take away my children's future and things like that. So I, naturally, things sometimes got a little personal.
Yeah. It's funny, man, because when we watched you over the years, we were big fans. From UFC 1, we were fans. And then watching your post-fight career, it's as though we never knew you all along, right? And same with the likes of, Chael Sonnen and a few other people who jumped into that business were like, wait a minute, this guy's a different person, right? We always saw the more aggressive, the more angry, the more direct version of you. And now, like, this guy's fucking awesome, right?
Oh, well, thank you very much. And, to be honest, I had to work on my mental side of things. And I found Jason Perillo, who was my longtime boxing coach. And, he worked on my mentality, because I did used to let myself get too emotional. And that was, that's a negative emotion to have in a fighting environment. Think about it. If you're in a frantic state of mind, if you're angry, if you're mad, you're never the best version of yourself, regardless of what kind of environment you're in. Like doing a podcast right now, if you guys are angry and mad and arguing, you're not going to do a good job. If you're, whatever it is in life, you're not going to put your best foot forward. So certainly if you're a fighter and you're fighting the best fighters in the world, if you're going in there angry, mad, it's not going to work out. If you're fighting the best guys in the world, you're going to be cool, calm, collected in the moment. You've got to be at peace in that madness. And it's very, very difficult to find that balance. And it took me a long time to try and achieve that. But with the help of Jason Perillo, as I said, towards the end, I did manage to control my emotions. And, funnily enough, I ended up becoming world champion, because the physical side was always there. But this side of things was, I was a little bit of a psycho when I was younger.
We know.
let's get into life. So you're out in California right now. You're living in the OC, correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, been out here for about 10 years now. I remember I came out here. I used to do some training camps here, and I'm from the northwest of England, and I miss it dearly. I'm a proud Englishman, but the weather's terrible. Okay, and I was out in California and I did jujitsu. And then afterwards, we sat by this little cafe by the beach. And, you know, people are surfing and people are walking by in shorts and shirts off and pretty girls in bikinis and stuff, you know. And I'm like, wow, look at this. I said, we've just done jujitsu. Now we're having lunch by the beach. This is amazing. And my friend said to me, welcome to my life. And I thought, wow, yeah, I think I want this life. So I went home to my girlfriend, now my wife. And I said, look, listen, you know, we've got the work visa, so we can go, and planes go both ways. So we jumped on a plane. I think it was 2 weeks later. We said, screw it, let's take a chance. Got the kids, you know, and went out there. Didn't even sell the house, and went out there. We tried it out. We said, if we don't like it, we'll go back. And that was 10 years ago.
Wow, unbelievable. So I mean, we obviously we get a lot of your people out in Australia, specifically Bondi Beach. So you made the switch to California. But let me ask you this, because I'm in a similar sort of scenario. I'm living in Dubai, right? And my kids, obviously, because here the schooling system is so heavily Americanized, my kids come home and say shit like cookie instead of biscuit, and mom instead of mum.
I know. And then if I ever like use some Americanisms, I get so much crap on Twitter off people, you know, and it's like, dude, relax. I live in America, okay? That's what they say. So I'm just fitting in. When I'm back in England, I'll use the correct terminology. And yeah, my kids kind of have blended accents. You know, with us, they'll be English, but with their friends, they're so American. And not that it happens anymore, but like I remember once or twice, you know, if I was like telling my daughter off, I'll call her, say she stayed out late. I'm like, where the hell are you? And she's talking in an American. I'm like, and knock that stupid accent off as well. Talk normally. Get your ass on. Let's go. But hey, listen, we live in America. It is what it is.
I noticed that when Callum was talking about fighting Gomez, and just a couple of words he said, I'm like, oh, this has got to be driving Michael nuts.
Nah, it is what it is. At the end of the day, we live in America, you know, so, and I even do it myself when I'm out here, because, I mean, even just there, when I said here, there's a slight American twang to it, because when I first moved out here, people couldn't understand the word I said. In fact, my manager, Ori Atar from Paradigm Sports Management, he loves this story. We were in LA one day, and we wanted coffee. So we just went through a McDonald's drive-through, and I go up to the window, we pull up to the window, and I say, hey, 2 coffees, please. And she's like, what? I said, 2 coffees, please. She's like, what? I'm like, 2 coffees. And she's like, I don't understand you. I'm like, what are you talking about? I know I have an accent, but it's 2 syllables. Coffee. And I'm starting to wind myself up, and I'm like, can I just get 2 fucking coffees, please? Coffee. And she's like, oh, you mean coffee? And I'm like, yes, coffee. And then she says, what flavor? I said, what do you mean, what flavor? Coffee flavored. She says, we don't do coffee flavored. I'm like, what do you mean you don't do coffee flavored coffee? The whole time, Ori Atar is laughing his head off. And I'm like, well, what flavors do you do? She goes, caramel, vanilla, or strawberry. I'm like, I don't want any of that shit. I just want a coffee. And she goes, oh, you mean original? And I'm like, oh my God. So anyway, so yeah, over the years, I have developed a slight twang because I want to be understood, and I don't want to spend my entire day explaining what I'm trying to say. But when I go back to England, it disappears in 5 minutes.
Let's jump back a little bit to obviously you're going to be covering 257 from California.
Oh yeah.
We want to get some predictions.
Yes.
We want to know where Michael sits with things, namely, specifically, and most importantly, Poirier and Conor. Because me and this guy over here, we sit on opposite sides of this fence.
Complete opposite sides of this fence. Complete opposite sides of this fence. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting one. Which one of you has Dustin?
He does.
No, I don't have Dustin, but I don't think it's going to be a repeat of the first fight.
Let me tell you something, Michael. Anything I say, he just wants to go the other way every single time.
Well,
And that's the beauty of who we are. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it makes for a fun podcast. You wanna debate. That's what on mine. I do a podcast called Believe You Me. So all your viewers and listeners need to come and download and subscribe my podcast, Believe You Me. That's why I'm here.
We're gonna teach you how to say "Believe You Me" in Arabic at the end of this show.
Oh, please! I want to know.
And we're going to blast all over the place, man.
We're going to blast it all over the place so that they do follow. Believe you me. We love your show, by the way. It's amazing.
Okay. No. Thank you very much. Okay. So UFC 257, Conor McGregor taking on Dustin Poirier. Of course, it's a rematch. The first one, Conor went out there. He got into Dustin's head fight week. Conor's the master at doing that, and took him out of there very easy. Smoked him. It was easy. Didn't even really take a punch. Now, that fight was at 145. Now, granted, both guys struggled making 145, but Dustin never really landed on Conor in that fight. The only person that really got any punishment was Dustin Poirier. And the lighter you are and these extreme weight cuts, they do affect your ability to take a shot. So coming into this one at 155, I think Dustin's going to, be more durable. He's going to be able to take Conor's power a little bit better. However, I still think Conor's the better striker. I still think Conor's faster. He's more dynamic. Certainly got the confidence edge. And confidence in a fight situation is huge. Now, however, I think it's 7, 8 years ago since that first fight, 6 or 7 years anyway. Yeah. 7 years. So they've both evolved as fighters. Dustin's definitely got better. He was very young back then, but so was Conor, granted. But Dustin's, I think he's 10-2 since that fight. Only lost to Khabib and one other. So anyway, listen, Dustin's been doing fantastic. And we all know Conor McGregor's record, so we don't need to talk about that. It's going to be a close fight, but I do see Conor winning. I don't think it's going to be a first round knockout. I think if there's going to be a stoppage, it's probably going to be Conor. He'll probably get a knockout. If I'm Dustin Poirier, I'm trying to clinch. I want to clinch with Conor, push him up against the fence, fill his arms with lactic acid, try and force him to wrestle. Conor's great in the first few rounds, and he starts to tire off in the later rounds. Now, that's not an insult to Conor. He's just people have different body types, and he's more of a sprinter than an endurance type of guy. That's why he's so powerful. That's why he's so fast. Dustin Poirier is more of he's not a marathon, but he's not a sprinter. He's more like a 400 meters type of guy. Do you know what I mean? So he can go at a higher level. So a better output for longer, but not as high. He's not in the red zone like Conor. Conor's constantly in the red zone. That's why he burns out a little quicker. So for Dustin Poirier to get a win, he's got to drag it out to the later rounds. It all depends on whether or not he can do that. And if you want a prediction, I think Conor probably gets a stoppage in round 3.
Round 3, wow, that's pretty generous, man. I'd go 1 or 2. Mid second round would be my max.
And that's very possible as well. Conor hits extremely hard, and it's the speed. He's so loose in there. Funnily enough, I was just doing a boxing lesson with my son outside. And what we were working on was trying to get him to be so loose because he's so stiff, right? And I was trying to explain to him, listen, it's the opposite. In a fight, you think you want to be stiff and you think you want to be tense and trying to load up into every shot. No, you want to be loose. I'm like, you want to be like a piece of spaghetti, like a noodle, just nice and loose. And this, boom, just pop it out, nice and fast and snappy. And that's what generates the power. And if you look at Conor, he is so loose, and that's exactly what he does. And he does have the speed advantage. He has the movement advantage, and he's probably more diverse. However, Dustin's very tough. He's got a good chin. He can take a good shot. He's got good grappling as well. So we might see him try and surprise Conor with some takedowns. In fact, I pretty much guarantee he's going to try and do that. And I think that would be smart.
The thing is with Conor, I think he's reached that level of stardom where he doesn't give a shit about titles anymore. He just wants good fights, and I think he's kind of guaranteeing his wins every single time. Look at the Cerrone fight. He brought in so much innovation and it just blew everyone's mind. And then now I just see it happening the same way. I don't see it going any other way. I think it's a done deal in his pocket. I don't see it going any other way.
We had Owen Roddy on the show,
yeah.
Conor's coach, and I'll tell you what, they sound confident. That is a confident camp. They reckon.
They're always confident. They're always confident. Listen, anytime I have a coach that goes and does an interview and he doesn't sound confident and he doesn't say I'm going to smoke him. And you don't want your own fucking coach going out and going, whoa, this is a tough one, boys. Oh my God, this is bad. Oh, fuck. I don't know if we're going to win this. That's not what you want. You want your coach going, oh yeah, walk in the park. Even if the coach thinks you're going to get your fucking ass kicked, lie to your student. You know what I mean? Fill him with confidence. And Conor has that, because if you don't have confidence, you're not going to commit to everything that you're going to do. You're going to throw a punch and close your eyes and look away. You're not going to fully commit. But if you're fully confident and you truly believe you can walk through this guy, it almost gives you superpowers, because you're extremely confident. The adrenaline is at the correct level. If you're scared or a little intimidated, the adrenaline's too much, and then it has a negative effect. But listen, Dustin Poirier is the underdog, and I think most people have Conor winning. But, it's not a done deal. Every single fight, you never know. And it only takes one good shot. Now, I'm not saying he'll knock Conor out, but it's certainly possible. I think if somebody put a gun to my head and said, who wins this fight? Of course, I'd say Conor McGregor. But you can't count out Dustin. He's a tough son of a bitch.
What about Michael Chandler and Dan Hooker? We personally, both of us, one thing we agree on is we can't stand Michael Chandler, and we say that openly and confidently.
Yeah. I don't know Michael Chandler. I'm sure he's a very, very nice guy, but he just needs to win a fight. He's got a fight in the UFC. He's hanging around. He's trying to get on all the biggest cards, which I get. It's smart, but it's like, dude, just have a fight. Fortunately, he's going to fight next week. I'll be honest, I've never seen one of his fights, so I know he's a very, very good wrestler. And I think ultimately in this fight, it comes down to whether or not Dan Hooker can keep the fight on the feet. Because if he can't, Michael Chandler's going to win. And in fact, Chandler, I saw an interview where he said, listen, he's going to go out there, take him down and out wrestle him and finish him in the later rounds. And I was like, well, yeah, that's what you do. That's generally the game plan. Because if Dan Hooker can keep the fight on the feet, he's got the reach, he's got the range, he's a tremendous kickboxer, he's very, very dangerous at all angles, all ranges. A guy that's as tall as Dan Hooker for that weight class, typically when they're in close, they're not very good. They like to be at range. But Dan Hooker has very good knees, he has very good elbows, so he's very effective at all ranges. So if he stays on the feet, I got Dan Hooker. He's got great chin, he's got great power. But if Chandler can take him down and out wrestle him, then it's Michael Chandler's fight all day.
That's all right. That covers 257. I love it. Well, let's go back.
Dude, I'm sure he's sick of these. I'm sure he's sick of these fucking questions. He answers them probably 10 times a day. Let's jump into the juicy bit.
Okay. let me just make sure, because I'm supposed to be doing a Zoom with ESPN right now, but it's okay.
Okay, listen.
Okay. No. I got you. Listen, I sent an email saying I'll be a bit late, so we're good. Crack on, boys. Crack on.
Oh wow, we're bumping ESPN. Holy shit.
Yeah, apparently so. If I get fired, it's your fault, but still,
Oh my God. All right. So gun to the head question. We're not going to do predictions anymore. Gun to the head question. You've got to choose DC and Rogan or Anik and Felder behind the desk. Who's it going to be?
Jesus Christ. I mean, that's because DC's my boy, right? Anik's my boy. I love Felder. Joe Rogan's great, but I've never worked with Joe Rogan. So, and I've known Joe for years, but I have more of a relationship with DC and Anik, but you put them on separate teams, so that makes it difficult. Gun to the head.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you chopping up the team. So you're going to go DC Anik.
DC Anik.
DC Anik. Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay. Jump to the Believe You Me, Arabic.
Okay. Yeah. No, hang on. I got one more stupid question that I think.
Please.
Ariel Helwani and the Shmoo.
Which one? I mean, that's tough, isn't it? Because Ariel Helwani, I mean, come on, he's bigger than the sport these days. He is a superstar. I mean, Conor McGregor's a superstar, but Ariel Helwani is, he's the Michael Jackson of MMA. So, and then the Shmo's awesome. He has his gimmick, and Ariel's awesome. I'm only playing. We've been friends for a long time now, so we always bust each other's balls. They're both great. They both got different styles. Ariel or the Schmo?
In a fight.
Oh, in a fight.
In a fight.
Oh, Schmo all day.
Oh.
I've seen the Schmo I've seen the Schmo in the gym. He works out a lot. He's a hell of an athlete. I remember one day I was in the gym and there was this guy and he was working out like a beast, you know what I mean? But he was hogging this one machine that I was waiting for. And he was it's like the cable crossover machine. And he was using it and he was on it for like 45 minutes. And I was about to go and say, yo, bro, can you not see I'm standing there waiting for this machine? Come on, man, you know. And then I looked again. I'm like, it's the fucking Schmo. I'm like, hey, Schmo, get the fuck off. Do you know what I mean? Because without the glasses and the turtleneck and whatnot, I didn't recognize the guy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he works out a lot. So I'll take the Schmo over Helwani all day.
I'd rather see that fight than Jake Paul, Conor McGregor.
I'd pay a lot more money to see that. That'd be hilarious.
100%.
All right, we're gonna do a last bit.
Okay,
for the
please.
sake of time, right?
And
so
I
believe you me.
apologize. And listen. I'm happy to do this again some other time, so no problem. You guys are great.
We would love to, mate.
Yeah,
we
no
will
worries,
bombard you, dude. We will bombard you. Don't you worry about
Let's
that.
Let's do it.
We would love to. All right. So we call this segment Super Necessary.
Okay.
I don't know if you got the reference there.
Yes, I did. A certain avid Trump supporter.
A certain avid Trump supporter, correct?
Yeah, no, Masvidal. Go on then.
All right. So super necessary are 3 things that you need to know how to say in Arabic for when you come out to Fight Island.
That I need to know?
Anyone needs to know.
Okay.
Got to speak the lingo, right?
Most important one is believe you me.
All right,
Let's
believe
do a
you
quick
me.
bit. Okay.
Believe you me.
Pay attention and say it with passion, right?
Oh, of course.
Sadguni.
Sadguni.
Yeah, shout it out. Don't whisper it. Shout it out.
Sadguni.
Yes.
Sadguni.
Oh my lord!
That's
I'm pissing
fucking
myself.
perfect.
Hold
man.
on. Are you fucking lying?
No,
No.
we are not.
We would never do that.
Okay.
We would never do that. Sadguni means believe me. Like, believe me. Like, believe you me.
I'll remember that. I'll remember that. Next time,
believe
I'm
you
like,
me.
no, listen, my bags have gone. And they'll be like, no, it's not. I'm like, Sadguni. Believe me, motherfucker. Where's my bag?
Right.
I think that doesn't mean that. I think you, because every
I
time
swear to God.
say,
No, I swear to God.
laugh.
No.
We wouldn't do that to you, man. Come on. Maybe
No,
on the
I know.
second time, not the first. Okay.
All right, what else?
Second one, right? This is our favorite, and we tell it to everyone because it's the most important word you will ever learn in your entire life.
Okay.
I promise you. There's no equivalent in any other language, right? So, inshallah.
Oh, yeah. Inshallah.
Oh, you know that. Do you know what it means?
Inshallah. Yeah, I know what that means. Yeah.
What does it mean?
Look at that.
Praise God.
Oh no, it's
but-
God willing.
God willing, right?
God
But
willing.
you get to
Inshallah.
say that to any question asked to you. Do you want to come over tomorrow? Inshallah. Are you going to make weight?
that's good.
Inshallah. That means in God's
It's
will.
a good default. It's a good default. So I don't want to answer. Inshallah. It's like maybe.
It's
Probably not, but maybe.
Exactly. It's the most non-committal thing you. So if someone says you want to go out, you want to do this, you want to do that, you go Inshallah. It really means.
And the
Probably
Well,
beauty,
just be prepared. Next time you ask me to do the good podcast, I'll be like, yeah, inshallah. Inshallah. Maybe, probably not. And then ESPN are going crazy now. And like, are you going to jump on this fucking call? I'm like,
okay,
inshallah.
let's
joking,
wrap it
joking.
up, man.
All right.
No, you're good. I'll give you 2 more minutes. Not that you care,
Okay.
but still.
No. What about shukran? Do you know shukran?
Shukran? No, I have no idea what that means.
Thank you.
Oh, shukran. Shukran, is that correct?
Shukran.
So think of it like this: shook, like as in I'm shook,
Yeah.
and
And
run, as in go for a run.
Shukran.
Shukran. That's it.
Perfect.
That's all you need. That's all you need in this country. That's all you need. Inshallah and shukran.
Do it. Give us your
my
best one.
brother. Shukran, my brother. Inshallah. Yes, inshallah. Yeah, shukran.
Oh my god.
My brother. Shukran.
Sadguni,
Yes.
shukran.
Sadguni.
Shukran.
Dude, this was awesome. Thank you so much, Bisping. We love you to bits. And
Inshallah.
when you're in town, we're going to show you a good time, inshallah.
Hey, I would love that, guys. Thank you very much. You guys seem awesome. Keep up the good work. No doubt this is a great podcast. So keep doing the work. And as I say, I'd love to come on some other time. I apologize that I haven't got too much time. So my bad for that.
We're gonna take a quick podcast selfie. Oh yeah.
Let me get one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Come on. You guys got bigger guns. Jesus Christ. There's no USADA out there I can see. Jesus Christ. Come on.
Oh, shit. I know we're out of time.
You boys on. You're on a lot of testosterone. Fucking hell.
I promise.
I promise you we're all natural. But we have to, next time we have to ask. We need to ask about the whole, what's going on with the whole, how do you feel about people being able to
I think it's great.
Rock the reefer.
I think it's great. It's a totally harmless drug, and it's not performance enhancing if you're taking it the day before or 28 days before. I agree that people shouldn't be going into the octagon high. Definitely not. I'm actually very against that. But if you want to smoke weed throughout your training camp or whatever, good for you. As long as you're walking into the octagon sober and straight, then that's fine. So, when you see people getting their careers taken away for that, it's just absolutely insane. I mean, remember Nick Diaz, he got suspended for 4 years, I think it was, which is just ridiculous. And we see people, I think just the other day, somebody got suspended for 6 months, and it's such a shame. You're seeing people having their careers taken away. Their reputation is tarnished. Their earning power is diminished. And it's, in this modern day and age, it's not a big deal. So, but there you go. Fellas,
there you go.
I do have to run. Pleasure talking to you. Shukran. Inshallah.
Shukran.
Habibi.
What was believe you me?
Sadguni.
Later, boys.
See you, man.
See you later.
Take it easy. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Pleasure, guys. Thank you.